everything. This video is in no way to demoralize or take away anything that COVID has done. I know it has affected a lot of people's lives, a lot of people's livelihoods, and a lot of people's families. It's a very serious situation that we're in. This video is more to provide information to those who are looking to really understand what a virus is and can do, what coronavirus actually does in the environment and can do to you and your loved ones. And at the end of the day, to have some kind of ammunition against those who decide to argue emotional-based arguments that have no real basis in factual evidence.
All trolls report in.
Purple-headed queef flicker standing by.
Shay Gamora standing by.
I want to provide everybody listening straightforward facts about what viruses are and the virology behind them. And I just hope you guys can kind of enjoy this. It's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be very informative. Take notes, and by the end of it, I hope you're ready for a little quiz we're going to have that's going to make you into the best social media arguers out there, as well as miniature doctors in and of yourself.
We're going to make doctors out of you.
Well, welcome back, everybody. It's Dr. Ivan Rosilko here.
Chicks dig me because I rarely wear underwear, and when I do, it's usually something unusual.
It is time for your first no bullshit medicine class, Virology 101. What the fuck is COVID, and should we be worried about it?
Not so fast, brown boy. We're gonna have some laughs.
So the point of today's class is to kind of give you the ammunition and the knowledge needed to make informed decisions on your own. As well as give you ammunition against any of those face mask, social distancing warriors out there who like to argue emotions over facts. There's a lot of them.
You're an idiot.
So I hope you're ready.
Yes, Drill Sergeant!
So the main goal of this lesson is to learn what a virus is.
Oh, no.
How a virus works.
Oh, no.
How a virus affects you.
Oh, no.
And how can you defend against it.
Oh, yeah!
And the CARES Act. This is how the government has perpetuated this entire pandemic in and of itself. Then we have the media. Are they really on your side? We will dissect that in depth. We'll also be going over the exact ways on how to boost your immune system and decrease your stress throughout this very stressful period.
House is a fucking prison! I'm planet bullshit!
I decided to do this because with everything that's been going on with COVID, these shutdowns, and even these riots, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and the amount of people I have been tending to get in arguments with have been quite astronomical.
The price is wrong, bitch.
So sit back, grab a drink, have some fun, and get ready for your first no bullshit medical class. All right, so here we go. Step one. What is a virus and what does it do?
Life form analysis complete. Species is destructive, invasive, noxious, harmful to the body of the whole.
What species?
Man. You are virus.
We now have a name for the disease, and it is COVID-19, and I will spell it COVID-19. CO stands for corona, as you know. VI stands for virus, D for disease, so COVID.
So one of the most important things going forward, you always have to remember that the coronavirus is an RNA virus. It is enveloped. These are two very, very important aspects of what this virus is and how we are actually defending against it. So remember that. Coronavirus, RNA, envelope.
The hell is this?
So whenever you see one of these, this is a definition that you need to learn. So write it down, get your notebook out, and get ready.
I shoot from the hip, I tell it straight, and this is about saving your rights, not just mine.
So to think about it, you currently have about 380 trillion viruses living on yourself at this exact moment. This is called your virome.
Are you sometimes confused and overwhelmed by the large number of virus types? Let's try and get around this by grouping viruses according to their genome and understand their corresponding characteristics. Let's start with the virus particle, also known as the virion, which is the extracellular form of a virus used to spread from one cell or organism to another. A virion consists of a viral genome, which can be either DNA or RNA, and is enclosed in a protein capsid that provides protection. These viruses are referred to as non-enveloped viruses. This is in contrast to viruses surrounded by a biological membrane, known as an envelope. These viruses are also called enveloped viruses. A virion is only infectious if fully assembled. If the envelope of the virus is destroyed, it is no longer infectious.
Or worth a good goddamn.
Contrary to what one would expect, an envelope increases viral sensitivity to physical influencing factors as biological membranes are relatively fragile structures. Consequently, enveloped viruses can't survive the extreme acid of the stomach.
But the respiratory system, of course, is the most important and the one that we're going to focus on today.
Enveloped viruses are also more sensitive to heat, dryness, and disinfectants.
Dry my hands.
Well, you're supposed to wash them first.
Will you wash them?
I watched you get them wet.
Making them an easy target of the hygienic measures.
Wash your hands.
Listen to me, listen to me.
All right, so every time you see this little guy, it's something you should probably pay attention to because it's a fact we're going to make and something that you can use in daily arguments, decision-making, and all-around discussion about COVID.
Listen to me, listen to me.
So what's the advantage of a viral envelope? The biological membrane that forms the envelope is derived from the host cell. This provides a shield, protecting the virus particle more efficiently against the attack of the host immune system. As a rule of thumb, enveloped viruses are usually less immunogenic than non-enveloped viruses. In other words, the envelope helps the virus to evade the host immune response.
Listen to me, listen to me.
Hey, what's going on? It's Ramon, and this is the Quick Hit section where I make everything fun and effective when it comes to remembering it, so you understand what's going on. So what's this envelope thingamajigger, and what's it do? Well, first off, it makes the coronavirus weaken the environments. That's why soap and sun and heat can kill this thing very easily.
Right, okay, people, you have to tell me these things, all right? I've been frozen for 30 years, okay?
But when it's inside of you, this is what makes the virus very scary. It's like camouflage against your immune system. So this is why you gotta make sure your immune system's good so it can't do all the bad shit that you hear about. If you got a shitty immune system, then you better be scared because that thing is gonna hide from it and then it's gonna do all kinds of weird shit that you don't wanna have happening. Holy goodness.
You may shake my hand if you like.
Well, under the circumstances, I'd rather not. Mr. Burns, I'm afraid you are the sickest man in the United States. You have everything.
You mean I have pneumonia?
Yes.
Coronavirus?
Yes.
Hysterical pregnancy?
A little bit, yes.
I'd like to share a revelation that I've had during my time here.
Viruses are classified as either DNA or RNA. We will focus on RNA viruses as that's what the coronavirus is. The same thing as influenza, the typical common flu.
A virus is actually just a piece or strand of genetic information, usually DNA or RNA, which can be single or double-stranded. It uses this with the help of various molecular machines to replicate itself. However, it cannot do this alone. It must infect some kind of cell.
You move to an area and you multiply, and multiply until every natural resource is consumed. And the only way you can survive is to spread to another area.
Cells are the smallest unit of life. They manufacture proteins, replicate DNA, and store resources. This makes them perfect hosts for viruses. Armed with its genetic material, viruses are able to infect healthy cells and convert them into mindless virus-producing robots.
So an obligate intracellular parasite is something that needs your cells to actually live, reproduce, and become a pain in your ass.
That thing is in his butt.
Owie!
So what are some advantages of having a DNA or RNA genome? DNA genomes are generally larger than RNA genomes, meaning that the information storage capacity is greater. This is beneficial as viruses with a large genome are usually less dependent on their host. On the other hand, DNA replication is much slower than RNA replication. But most importantly, there are no elaborate repair mechanisms in cells enabling RNA viruses to mutate at a higher rate than DNA viruses. High mutation rates are clearly advantageous in viruses, as can be seen for the influenza viruses, which mutate so quickly that the vaccine offers limited or no protection in the given season.
Listen to me, listen to me.
It seems what's left of my human side is slowly changing in me.
So to summarize, RNA viruses are smaller than DNA viruses. They replicate a lot faster. They have no built-in mechanisms to make sure that what they are replicating is the correct genome, meaning mutations take place all the time, which also in turn leads to a vaccination possibility being completely bullshit.
Can you handle that?
I tried.
Just gonna try.
In other words, RNA viruses mutate so fast, it's hard to get an actual vaccination against them. We're at level 1, they're at level 10 already. We can never catch up because they're mutating so goddamn fast.
This house is a fucking prison! I'm playing bullshit!
Is that a toot?